Hello, this is James from Therapy Business School. I hope you're doing well wherever in the world you are. Now, this one's going to be about alternatives to how does that make you feel. And the reason I'm picking this one is because a lot of clients have an expectation. The counsellor's probably going to say, how does that make you feel? And then they'll say something, and then the counsellor will say, and how does that make you feel? And I've actually had this from clients myself where there's almost an expectation of, can we have a bit more? Because that's what everyone says. So I like to try and stay away from how does that make you feel. So I'm going to come up with a few alternatives. Now, if you think of any yourself, put them in the comments below. Let's share the love with this kind of thing. All right. So I'm just going to speak off the cuff. Nothing is scripted, and let's see where we go with it. All right. So alternatives to how does that make you feel? A thing that I will often say is, how is that sitting with you? And then I'll wait for an answer. And then I might try and phrase that in slightly different ways. So I'll use the same words, but I'll put emphasis on different parts of that sentence. So I'll say, and how is that sitting with you? They'll give a reply, yeah. But how is that really sitting with you? Or how is that sitting with you? Or how is that sitting with you? See how you can vary and mix and match with this kind of stuff. You're saying the same thing, but they all mean different things, really. So how does that sit with you? Another one could be, how does that resonate with you? Or where are you with that? Now, you can ask, how does that make you feel? But I would add a bit more oomph to saying it. Just like the first one, but how does that make you feel? Because that's a really valid question. Now, another thing you can do is, I like the clients to go internal with their own feelings. And the way around this is from the world of NLP, or neuro-linguistic programming. And you can use some of those techniques in this kind of thing. So I'll give you an example. So let's say a client says they're feeling angry, for instance. Okay, and how's that resonating with you? Well, it just winds me up. Yeah. Now, that wound up feeling that you're talking about, if you could give that a colour, what colour would it be? And then go quiet. Now they're going to have to think, when I get wound up, if that feeling had a colour, what would it be within myself? So they've got to go internal. You see? Now let's say they say it's like an orange. Okay, so it's an orange. And whereabouts in your body would you say it is? That orange feeling when it happens. Well, they might say something like, well, it starts in my stomach. And then it starts in my stomach, and then it sort of like makes my stomach go all like jittery inside, like butterflies. Okay, like butterflies. And how big would you say this thing is in comparison to something else? Well, they might say, okay, well, it starts off as small as a tangerine and might get as big as a watermelon. Right? Okay, so it starts off as small as a tangerine, it's orange, and it goes as big as a watermelon. How long does it take for it to transform from a tangerine to a watermelon when this thing starts? See how you're going down the rabbit hole with this feeling? The client's got to go internal on themselves. So they might say, well, I can feel a tangerine just a little bit, and then all of a sudden it just sort of goes really big, really quick. Okay, so it goes really big, really quick. Does it go anywhere else in your body? That kind of question makes them go internal again. Now, the client might say something along the lines of, well, then I feel like it rushes to my head and I can't think clearly. Okay, so it rushes to your head. Is it the same colour or is it something else? They might say, well, it's like the red mist is coming down. Okay, so it starts off as a tangerine, then it suddenly goes bigger to a watermelon. It's about orange. It's an orange colour. Then it goes to your head and it's like a red mist. That kind of detail you're not going to get, I would suggest, from saying, how does that make you feel? So you can use these techniques and you can expand, does it affect any other body parts? What happens when the anger is leaving you? Which goes first, the red mist or the watermelon in the stomach? What goes first? Does something else happen? Where does it go when it's not there anymore? All these kind of questions are fantastic for making a client go internal. And like I say, you get a lot more clarity than you would maybe with a bog standard, how does that make you feel? But don't shy away from how does that make you feel, because that's a really good, valid question. Sometimes I'll say to clients, I really hate asking this question because it seems like such a counsellor thing to say. But genuinely, how does that make you feel? And I'll go quiet. Alright, so I hope this video has helped on alternatives to how does that make you feel. Like I mentioned before, if there's any ones that you can think of that you find are real gems, post them in the comments below. Alright, let's share the love a little bit on this channel. So I hope you've liked this. If you have, please do the whole like, the share, the subscribe, ring the bell, this kind of stuff. I know you hear this on every YouTube video. The reason I'm asking is because I want you to be able to tell YouTube, the algorithm, let's share this content around, because then we all get better. Alright, so I'll see you on the next video. This is James from Therapy Business School, and I wish you the very, very best. Bye bye.